Yeah, absolutely. And I've said this since, oh gosh, I've said this forever. And we talked about this. I'm not, wow, I don't get political. It's just never been my thing. Um, but what I do try to think about is I try not to personally let these outside factors impact my life. And I think that I agree with you, Jody, on the level of, like I said, I'm shaking my head. I don't know where the money's going to go, and I'll never will, right? And you're right. In 5 years, when we look back on it, just like we look back on 2008, we're going to see that the money was not used as well as it could have been, and we're all going to wind up paying for it. What I try to do is I always realize that these things are always going to impact me, so I have to insulate myself as much as I can between the mess that's out there in my own life. And that starts with real estate taxes. I go down to the fundamental level of, real estate taxes that keep climbing where we sit here in the Northeast. They just keep climbing. And after this crisis, oh man, are they going to climb again, right? They're just going to keep climbing. And as much as I want to rip my hair out and scream from the top of my roof to say, I can't believe this is happening, what am I going to do? It's a fundamental, it is what it is. I go back to my sign that's on my desk, and if you could see it, it's right there. I'm just pointing my camera towards it. It is what it is, and these things are going to continue to happen, and there's going to be more bonehead moves being made to spend more money that we don't have on things we don't need, and you watch, it's just going to get worse, right? So what I try to do is insulate myself, and I think that I said it on the past couple of podcasts. Everything I've done in my life has led up to this moment where I've been able to have enough insulation between me and the outside world to kind of rest okay. And I think, Jody, you're in the same boat, where we've done everything we were supposed to do, and we'll be penalized for it. We always will, right? So we will pay full boat for our kids to go to college. Period. End of story. Right? Unless my kids are geniuses, I'm paying the full ride. There's no tax break. There's no nothing. My real estate taxes could double, and you know what? I'm gonna have to pay them. Just gonna have to pay them, right? Because I'm gonna have to suck it up, Buttercup, and just keep going. And as much as if I really think about it, it really should drive me crazy. I just know it's the reality. It's just these are the kind of things that I've done things the way I've done them, and I think I've said this on a lot of podcasts previously, I'll have a lot of regrets in life. So I never went out and went on the wild, multi-year family killer vacations. I don't own a summer home. I don't own a Corvette in my garage. I don't have the things that outsiders would say, wow, I can't believe Paul, or, he does pretty good. I can't believe he doesn't want to go here or can't do that. And it has nothing to do with that. It comes down to drastically scared. And I have another photo that's on my desk, Jody. I don't know if I ever talked about this one. I have a picture of the gentleman who was the Highwire specialist that went between the two Trade Center towers. Yes. Wow. And Jody, I'm pointing my camera towards it, and you'll see it when I send you the video, right? I found that picture a long time ago, and I framed it. I printed it out from the internet and had it done as a photo and framed it. And Jody's gonna be like, why? What's the backstory? So we're gonna divert one minute, and I'll give you the backstory. So I'm still working on a book, a personal finance book, and I won't go into all the details on it, but one of the stories I wrote in there was about that picture. And it's probably a page and a half long. I wrote it in a coffee shop. And the short story is that I picture my financial life as that guy on the Highwire between the two trade centers. Because if I don't put the emergency fund away and I don't get my finances under control, that's me on the Highwire. There are no safety nets underneath me. There's no family money underneath me. There's no government money underneath me. There's nothing underneath me. It's me on the Highwire between the two twin towers, walking across every day. And it petrifies me to the point where I have to make sure that I'm constantly focused and constantly balanced in my financial life. And maybe we'll elaborate on that story one day on a future podcast. But I know it feels like we're veering off a lot of different topics here. We're stuck on the news stories. But that's how I have that picture on my desk. I picture my financial life as, the analogy is that guy. If I fall off that high wire, there are no safety nets underneath me and I just perish. So that's why emergency funds are very important to me. Paying off my mortgage is very important to me. Paid for cars were very important to me. College savings were very important to me. And they still continue to be important to me. Even with my mortgage gone, I'm like, there's no time to stop. I have to say, okay, now I got to save for college, right? There is no time where I sit there and say, you know what, I could just let go. Unless you want to call it the fire pit. Maybe I let go the $200 on the fire pit. Maybe, right? I guess, right? But that's so minute in the grand scheme of things.